Hello, YouTube followers. It's Stacy here with The Human Experience. Sorry it's been a couple weeks since we posted another series, but we've been taking in everything that's going on, identifying our role, and implementing our responsibility so that we can respond in the most effective and useful way for all of our families, all of our community members, all of our brothers and sisters who are joined and connected on this journey to wholeness and wellness as a community and as a world. So we have been very active in creating our next action steps and what we're going to do next. So there's that. But today I was thinking a little bit as I was coming home from my office here in Shepherdsville about the foundation of REACH, about the beginning of this program. And I thought it would be kind of cool to take a minute and talk a little bit about that on our channel. So for those of you guys who are new to us, we'll get a big picture about who we are and how we got here. And those of you guys who have been with us for a long time can celebrate that as a family and as a unit. So in 2013, I saw a need in Nelson County to really step up and offer a program that gave people the opportunity to have access to free or low-cost treatment for individuals and family members who were dealing with CPS or dealing with probation and parole, or who just wanted a solution out of the darkness that addiction at times can bring, to have access to a program that was really, really good and could really meet people where they needed to be met. So we launched the REACH program. And it's pretty amazing when I think back to that time. I had a friend of mine who let me borrow her office. And she's like, look, you can sublease this office for a little bit. You're welcome to come in here and do assessments. I had a little 2-drawer stuck filing cabinet that I kind of put in there. And then for the most part, everything that I would transport in terms of charts and groups, notes and stuff like that would be in this little rolling cart. And it was pretty funny when I think back to it. I actually have it now in my garage as a reminder of where I've been and to keep me humble. Everything that I did came out of this little wheeling cart. And the first office we had was at the end of this really, really long hallway. And so I can just remember putting everything into this cart, rolling down to her hallway, or down the end of the hallway into her office, and always just having this overwhelming feeling of gratitude. But we could not find a group room to save our life. And I kept hunting and kept hunting and kept getting turned down from people and kept getting turned down. And people didn't want folks that dealt with addiction in their program or in their office space. And, it was just a lot of rejection and a lot of shut doors. Until finally this one gentleman who at the time was running a federal sex offender program was like, look, man, I'll let you rent my office space. He's like, you can have it one night a week. And he's like, and from that one night a week, he's like, we'll make it work from other nights if we need to. And it's so amazing to me that was our early days. Like, we were in a building where, when the heat came on, it would clang and bang, and it was an old haunted building, and, it had all these creepy pictures on the wall, and, we would just kind of come together, and there'd be probably 15 of us in these cramped little quarters, and the rooms were really dark, and it's just, we came and we made it work. And one particular day that really sticks out to me in the beginning was the night that the boiler had gone out, and it was really cold in there. And we probably had like 15 or 16 people in the group. And I was like, all right, guys, man, like, I can't keep you here. Like, it's against the law for me to keep you in here when it was truly freezing weather. I mean, we could see our breath inside. So I told him, I was like, we'll go on a quick break. We'll make a decision about what we want to do, and we'll recuperate, and we'll come back and make a decision. And when we came back, 90% of the group wanted to stay. And we literally stuck and stayed in this group in a darkened room, writing on a board that was like a 2 foot by 2 foot or 4 foot by 4 foot, where I'd like write a sentence, erase the first half to write the second half type of stuff. And we stayed and we did treatment. And I think back to those times now, and I think, that was the spirit of recovery. That is the spirit of how REACH began. It was never about fancy names and big reputations. It was never about making tons of money, but it was just about this room, these people, this moment. That the information was so valuable and people were so hungry for it that they stuck and stayed in some of the, the most, I guess, undesirable temperatures, or undesirable conditions is a good way of saying it. Again, that was in 2013. And from there, I evolved. I was able to grow into my own office space, which I acted like was, I had just hit the lottery. They gave me a little corner space after that. And I can remember going that day and like bringing my kids and being like, oh my God, guys, look, I'm so excited. We have our own office, and put my little name on the door and stuff. And that was so amazing. From there, we were able to evolve into an office that I could do my group room and have an office space. And I remember thinking to myself, like, wow, this is really what progression looks like. But guys, we're talking like years later. This wasn't like a, hey, snap my fingers, hey, snap my fingers. It was like, hey, we put the legwork in, we put the legwork in, and it was, I evolved from the little rolling filing cabinet to a cabinet I could actually leave in the office, and I evolved from having 3 sets of keys to get in a door in 2 different places because I couldn't keep everything in one, to, hey, here's 1 key to get into 1 place. And I know for some of you guys, you'll get what I say when I mean, like, these are things that I was celebrating as these steps are going on, because for me at that moment, that was a big deal. 1 key, 1 office, my name's on the door, like, this is incredible. And it's funny how, and I don't know what your belief system is, but it's funny how God will evolve you, and that's my belief. I'm not a religious person, but a spiritual person. And what that means is that I have a relationship with God as I understand Him, and how the universe will put things in place for me. Because it was amazing how that situation happened, and I moved into this one office, and again, I was able to do groups there, and at that same time, made a leap of faith to leave my full-time job in 2016, and say, you know what, I believe at this point that everything has led up to where I need to be. In 2016, I had been facilitating a program and had been making pretty decent money. It was involved in something that my heart wasn't in. Even though it was quote-unquote treatment, the program as a whole was going in a different direction. And for those of you guys that know me, I don't do umbrellas well. I don't do being suppressed well. If I have an idea or a vision or just something that I really want to say or speak on, then I want the freedoms and the ability to do that. So I left that position. I took a leap. It was probably one of the most rewarding and scariest leaps I have ever done, because there was no guarantees. Brene Brown talks about vulnerability as being emotional exposure and uncertainty. And at that point, mom of 2 kids, kind of in a situation where I was becoming a single mom, was in school full time, getting a master's, and it was like, time. It's time. The universe gave me this dramatic push, and I leapt. And I opened the office in Shepherdsville in October of 2016. And I walked into this thinking, I don't know what this is going to look like, but we are going to fail. We're going to fail at some things, but running this program and being successful is not what it's going to be. We're going to have a lot of barriers and hoops to jump through, but we're going to make it. We're going to make it. In the meantime of that, we did 2016. Like I said, we did a lot of struggle, a lot of miracles, a lot of shortcomings, a lot of letters, a lot of begging for help, a lot of just, we're going to get this done. And the truth of the matter is that if anybody ever tells you that they're a self-made person, they're not being honest with you. When I look back and everybody's like, man, you've done such an amazing job, there's some truth in that, but there's more truth in the fact that I have had people who have helped catapult me all areas of this, whether it be people who catapulted me because they were my supporters and they loved me and they were affectionate and that they were compassionate and passionate about what I was doing, or whether they were elevators because they told me I couldn't do it and they were full of hate and anger and just resentment. Both of those people, when I look back over this picture, helped me get to where I am. So we moved 2016. I'm in this building. We're starting to build programs. I take on the opportunity to work on a teen drug court program, not having any idea where that was going to lead or where that was going to end me. And from that, just that one channel of me saying, yeah, I want to work with this teen program, I was able to have access to creating an At Promise Youth program with Sunrise in partnership with them, which led me to a partnership with a brand new colleague, which led me to a continued growth opportunity to where we are now. She's phenomenal. She's part of our program. And it gave me an opportunity from there to have a little bit more reputation, a little bit of how well we're working, kind of continue to infiltrate the community, which led me to have a decent reputation with another judge who was interested in me doing drug court. And in the meantime of all of that growth and all of that amazing opportunities that were going on, my Bardstown office, that office that we were in, had some issues that came up and we were asked to leave. I will tell you that it was not a parting that I appreciated. It was based on some prejudice from the lady that was overseeing the place. And I'll just leave that for what it is because that's past stuff. From there, we were catapulted, though, to find a new office, which we moved into, and it was really, really really great. We did some remodeling and building and changing. And then last year we moved again into our final spot, which is a phenomenal office. It is absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And we welcomed in yet another colleague to come and work with us. So since 2013, the year I decided to make that first step, I now have partnered with or teammate with another drug and alcohol therapist. I am supervising him. He's doing phenomenal work. He's doing my IOP program. We've increased IOP. We've partnered with another mental health facilitator and partnered with her. We've partnered with a licensed marriage and family therapist, and we've partnered with her, and we're partnering with a targeted case management, and we're partnering with her. We've become licensed and fully billable. And so as I sit today in 2020, here's the crazy part. I went into my office today to get something on my way home, and it hit me. And it's taken me 7 years to get here. 7 years of just getting up every day and doing the next right thing. 7 years of getting up and treating people good. I have a philosophy at Reach: you treat people good and money comes. You treat people good and people continue to come home. And we are 100% successful because folks always know where they're comfortable and where they're welcome and where the door is always open for them, no matter how they come, no matter what stage or what status or what position in life they're at the moment they walk through our doors, that we are welcoming and that we love people. So I will close with this. I heard it said somewhere, and I believe it wholeheartedly to be true, that the biggest difference between people who get sober and stay sober is really a simple yet extremely challenging, I don't want to say skill to master, but I guess that's the way I say it. The biggest difference between people who get sober and stay sober and people who struggle is that the people who get sober and keep it believe that they are worthy of love and belonging. They believe that they are worthy of love and belonging. They believe they're worthy of having a place to call home and to show up to. So in the last 7 years, the heartbeat of Reach has been just that. We are a place where people belong, period. We are a place where people belong. I will tell you that I wholeheartedly believe today that I have men and women in our program who are equally dedicated and motivated and in love with and invested in the program as I did those men and women who were sitting in those chairs breathing out cold air as we were teaching a class almost in the dark. For that, I am eternally grateful. So for those of you guys that are watching this, I will tell you this. If somebody like me can build something from nothing, so can you. They say that if you are passionate and you are working in your calling, you'll never work another day in your life. And I believe that because I'm living proof that that's true. You do what God calls you to do. You do what you're asked to do. You follow that divine intervention, and you stay faithful and not scared to leap. And you will be humbly awed at what can happen in your life. Here we are, 2020, in a place that I never saw for myself. I never saw for myself, and I never saw for Reach. Thank you.